Hello and welcome to TV 25 Sports. I'm Evan Woodward along with Jeff Mulder, taking a look at the Haslett varsity Vikings here tonight, taking on the Middleville Thornapple Valley Trojans in the first playoff game at Haslett since 1986. A very, very big game here tonight. Haslett comes in undefeated at 9-0, Thornapple at 8-1. Now, tonight, the Vikings have got a lot of key things that they're going to have to do in order to make things work. Jeff, number one, they're going to have to establish that ground game with Logan Barnhart. I'd say the number to reach tonight would be about 300 yards combined with the three backs. What would you say, Jeff?
So that'd be a good number, a good goal for the team this week at this game. I mean, they haven't thrown too much this season, although late in the season we've seen them pass a few more times, but definitely they got to establish a ground game.
Now, other points that Haslett's going to have to hit on here tonight is they're not going to be able to have all the penalties that they've been having in the previous game. They've been getting a lot of personal fouls, just a lot of problems. I mean, a lot of mental errors. You know, we've had some offsides calls here, but mainly the personal fouls have been the big problem, and you can't come into a playoff game like this and give those yards away to your opponent.
You definitely cannot do that. I mean, Haslett's going to have to try to contain themselves a few times this year that they've been penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and that just can't happen in a game like this. They're going to have to be able to keep their heads and...
Thanks, man. Other things that Haslett's going to have to do is they're going to really have to stop this Thornapple Kellogg passing attack. They're able to throw very, very well, and Haslett last week faced some problems in that secondary against the Gaylord Devils. And they played pretty well, but it was not easy to stop, especially the fade patterns. And you have to think if Middleville's going to be able to throw the ball well, then they're going to do it.
Hopefully Haslett's corners learned a little something from that Gaylord game on how to play the pass a little better, because if they didn't, then Middleville's going to be able to throw on them pretty easily all night.
Well, as we know, Haslett's got a great secondary. I mean, at the corners, they've got Ryan Walker and Nathan Cahill, but they really hadn't faced a team that passed as much as Gaylord did until the Gaylord game. And so you have to think how much of that was just lack of, preparation, instead of, lack of ability.
Well, possibly they could have scouted and Gaylord maybe not have passed as much, and maybe Gaylord scouted and has seen the teams really hadn't passed on Haslett this year, and maybe Middleville did the same and tried to open that up a little bit.
Well, one of the things that Haslett's going to have to also do tonight is play well on special teams. That's been one of the, not really a problem this year, but their kickoff team has been excellent, or kick return team, pardon me, and if they want to continue to be a threat, then Barnhart and Eric back there are going to have to run the ball back very well. Another thing, Alex Williams is going to have to hang on to the ball returning those punts tonight. He's been doing pretty well so far this season. He's dropped a couple of them, but he's going to have to be at his best here tonight as to avoid those critical turnovers that can happen in big games like this. And in games like this, small, minor mistakes can lead to a loss.
Yes, definitely. Once you get to the playoffs, every team is just as good as you are. There's no more weak teams on the schedule once you get into the postseason. With only 16 teams left in the whole state of Michigan in Class BB, no one's going to be too weak in any area.
Yeah, there's just not any easy gimme games left for any of these teams here. And Haslett, especially here tonight, is just going to have to play an all-around great game. And Logan Barnhart tonight, it's a very special night for him. It is his birthday. And Barnhart ran very well against Gaylord last week, and he's hoping to do the same here tonight. Now, as we talk about the crowd here tonight, Jeff, it is amazing. People were here putting blankets down on the bleachers at 5:30 in the morning. That is amazing that people are that pumped up about this game, and you can hear the crowd go nuts here as their Haslett Vikings get ready to take the field. 9-0, first playoff appearance since 1986. And the Vikings are ready to go here tonight.
Here come the Vikings onto the field.
And you can tell they're pumped up and ready to go. Haslett also brought up a few sophomores for tonight's game to dress, get a little more depth on the field.
Sophomores get the experience of being in a varsity game. Probably won't get a lot of playing time, probably none for most of the sophomores, but they get the chance to practice with the varsity squad and help them out, a little scout team.
Well, it's a good thing to bring them up. I mean, the Haslett could find themselves in the same spot next year. As for the Trojan crowd, they are very loud and very rowdy and have filled up that visiting bleachers section very, very quickly. And they have come to support their team, and their team is pretty large as well. And it'll be interesting to see which team comes out and takes the other one on first. It's a big game here, and you got to think whichever team is more prepared is going to have the advantage from the offset here, Jeff.
Yeah, I think both teams would definitely have a key as they want to get off a good start here. Haslett's had a few games where they haven't gotten off as well from the beginning, and hopefully they've worked on that. And Middleville probably starts well. We haven't seen them play at all this year, and don't know too much about them, but I'm sure they start well if they've got an 8-1 record.
Yeah, another thing about Middleville is their road here to the playoffs has not been quite as pretty as Haslett's. A lot of their games have been very close, and they're still here though. They've only lost one game, and as for Middleville, the number one thing that they're gonna need to do tonight is just to be ready against the Vikes. They're gonna have to be prepared to stop that Haslett rushing game. And that's been one thing that really no team has been able to do so far this year.
Well, one thing about Middleville is we got the starting lineups here. We'll let you see them first.
As you can tell, crowd very, very into this one here tonight. And there is that Viking defense, ferocious in all ways. They've been playing very well this year. 3 shutouts on the year for that Viking defense. And they've been shutting down opposing teams' running games and passing games and have really held this team together all year long. The offense has been fairly consistent, had a couple low-scoring games. Fowlerville and Portland only scoring 14 points, but both of those occasions, 14 was enough.
As I was saying before, Middleville, they lost their first game of the season this year and are on an 8-game winning streak. And really, if they would have lost another game, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. So Middleville really had a tough season coming off a first game loss to make it to the playoffs and go 8-1. So they're riding a pretty good winning streak as well as Haslett, and should be a very, very, very good competitive game.
Expecting very physical play tonight. The weather is a little chilly as the temperature expected to drop possibly below freezing tonight. You never know, it is that Michigan weather. But it's a great night for football. The skies are clear. And the Vikings are ready to go. They're going to receive this kick here to open the game. Barnhart and Eric back deep to receive for the Vikings. For the Trojans. Can't tell who their kicker is yet. It appears like it's going to be number 33, Miso Glevin.
I believe that he is also their running back and their star running back at that, their leading rusher this year. Obviously a well-rounded player.
Both teams full of anticipation. Crowds going nuts on each side. Glevin. Squib kicks it, goes off Kleinert, and it looked like they were able to get back on top of it. Haslett, as he kicked it very short, and it bounced right off of Jacob Kleinert. And then it appeared to hit Stu Gliwa, and he was able to assist recovering that ball. So Haslett's going to have great field position to start off tonight.
Wow, you couldn't ask for much better field position for Haslett.
I know, starting at your own 43-yard line.
Shortens the field down a lot for the offense. We'll see how they come out. Shively under center.
Especially as explosive an offense as this Viking team has. Shively, and he drew a man off sides, and no official signal yet as to which man it was, whether it's on the Vikings or the Trojans, but I believe it's going to be on the defense. Yes, offsides on the defense, and that's going to move Haslett 5 more yards to have a first down and 5 yards to go.
Probably not what Middleville wanted to start out with, but players a little bit anxious, and you can expect some of those little penalties like that at the start, little adrenaline.
Another thing about Shively is his cadence is just miraculous. It is very, very good. He's made opposing teams jump all year. And the give is going to be to Shepard off that left-hand side. Shepard met by 3 or 4 Trojans as he goes down after a gain of only a yard.
Ball down at the 49. Shepard, the ball carrier.
It's going to bring up.
Sorry, Evan. Even with a short carry like that, with a penalty like that, it's 2nd and short now for Haslett.
Only 4 yards to go to make that first down. That same backfield for the Vikings, Ehrig, Barnhart, and Shepard. Shively at quarterback. The give is to Ehrig off the right side. He's wrapped up, spins away, and then is brought down at about the 49-yard line, which is going to bring up a 3rd down and short yardage for the Vikings. What do you do here, Jeff?
I think in this situation, you got to do what you've been doing all year and give it to Shepard. Every 3rd and short, 4th and short, they've always given it to Shepard. He's always picked up the first down for him. I see him going to Shepard.
Shepard, definitely the most powerful runner on this team. He's very, very good in tough yardage situations. And that's who they're going to give it to, and he's wrapped up in the backfield and taken down by 4 or 5 Trojans as they just hustled to that ball. And there, Haslett's going to lose about a yard in the play, which is going to bring up 4th down and 2, and you really don't want to go for it here in this situation this early in the game.
Way too early in the game to go for it. Even with the good field position, you wouldn't want to give them this field position coming right back at you.
Mark Stocker is going to punt for the Vikings. Dan Keel is back deep to receive for the Trojans. Stocker drops the snap, picks it up, nearly tackled. We've got a penalty marker down. Stocker trying to get away, and no such luck as Middleville's going to tackle him inside his own 35-yard line, but let's see what this penalty is.
Looked like maybe possibly a holding call there in the...
We talked about turnovers before the game. We said that they couldn't happen, and that is really going to hurt Haslett if this penalty is against Middleville. And the penalty was the penalty was against Haslett, and Middleville declined it. So Middleville is going to have a first down, 10 yards to go. Inside the Haslett 35-yard line.
So we'll see if Haslett's defense responds, as Middleville's defense came out and played excellent first series.
Middleville's offense coming out with a pro formation, double or triple tight ends. Finkbeiner at quarterback. Actually, double tight ends, split left. Finkbeiner pitches it to the left-hand side. Man is brought down on the far sideline. The carry was from Zaya Shook. Play was good for about 2 yards on the left-hand side. Bring up 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Finkbeiner breaks his huddle. Same formation, split left, double tight end. And there's the give right up the middle to number 33, Mizo Glevin. And he's close to the first down. Harden was the man to bring him down.
As we said before, Mizo Glavin is the team's leading rusher, and he showed it right there, picking up 6-7 yards on that carry.
It's going to bring up 3rd down, about 2 yards to go for the Trojans. Vikings making a late substitution. And Trojans have got a split right pro formation backfield. Finkbeiner. Looked like he was going to run the option, gave it right up the middle to Glavin. And he is going to ramble forward for about 6 or 7 yards. Inside the Viking 20 now. This is not what Haslett wanted starting this game out, Jeff.
Definitely not. As we said, both teams were probably keen on having a good start, and right now Middleville's got the best of it.
The Vikings looking like they're having trouble stopping Glavin, as Finkbinder's been faking to run the option and handing it off to Glavin. We've got a split left. Cahill's on him. Pro formation backfield. And this time, Finkbinder is going to keep it and be brought down by Jeremy Telfor, as he didn't pick up anything on that play, and if he did, it was only about a yard.
Good play by Telfor, and it looks like he wanted to hand off to the fullback there, but the fullback just wasn't ready to receive the ball or something, so he had to keep it and eat a play there.
Definitely looked like some miscommunication there between quarterback and running back. It's going to bring up second down, about 9 yards to go. You might as well say 10. Ball on the Haslett 19. Finkbinder checks the defense. And it's going to be a run to the left. Looks like he gave it to Glavin, and the Vikings are going to swallow him up quickly. And he only picked up a couple on that play.
So the Viking defense is getting down and dirty a little bit here. Stopping Middleville for short gains on the first couple downs. Let's see if they can stop him on third down.
Big third down and 7. You have to think Middleville may decide to go to the air here. It'll be interesting to see. Split right, double tight end, pro formation backfield. Finkbinder checks with his receiver, and he's going to drop back, straight drop, throws the ball. It's batted down by number 53, Wayne Butler, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. The Haslett crowd goes nuts, and it appears like Middleville will attempt a field goal here as we've got a little personnel change.
Looks like they're bringing in the tee there. Good play by Butler there just to get his hands up in the air. It wasn't going to get to the quarterback, so he made the smart play and batted it down.
Well, it looks like Middleville is a little confused out here. They're supposed to be kicking a field goal, and now they're going to be calling their first time out of the game, as it looks like one of the men did not get on the field in time. And with 6:57 remaining in the first quarter, the score, Haslett 0, Middleville 0. Here's another look at that block. As you can see, Butler just got that right hand up there and pawed it down.
Good play by Wayne there.
Wayne's been playing very well all year long for the Vikings, and very consistent defensive end. Stays at home and plays very well. Now, Jeff, if you're Haslett, do you want to put some pressure on this field goal, or are you thinking that they may want to fake it here since they had the extra time to talk about it in the timeout?
I think you want to go after this one. I think Middleville's just going to try the field goal here.
Glavin, their all-around star, is going to kick. Number 4, Dan Warner, is going to hold. Kick is straight on. High snap, gets it down, and it's wide to the left. No good. Still 0-0 as the Haslett crowd goes nuts.
We'll see if Haslett can build on a little momentum there by their defense, coming up with a big stop and forcing Middleville to try a field goal, which was unsuccessful. And
the Vikings didn't really get things going on offense during their first possession, but we'll see if they do it here. They didn't give the ball to Barnhart, and they just went 3 and out. Well, now we've got Shepard, Ehrig at wing left. Shepard and Barnhart in the backfield. And the give was to Barnhart right up the middle, and he didn't have much room there. Middleville looks pretty prepared for this Viking offense so far.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of guys up in the box, and realizing that Haslett doesn't throw very much, and hopefully Middleville looks like they're relying, hopefully, that their corners can be able to get back out, or their safety can get it back out into pass coverage if Haslett does pass. But they're putting a lot of guys up front. Stop that run.
Same formation for the Vikings. Ehrig wing left, Shepard, Barnhart in the backfield. The give is going to be to Barnhart off the left side. He busts a big hole. Barnhart, he is gone. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Vikings. And Barnhart is going to be called for taunting. The flag was thrown, and he had slowed down and was handing the ball to the official, and I think he's going to get a taunting call here. But it doesn't really matter because the Vikings have just gone up 6-0 over the Middleville Trojans.
And right there is a good indication that the refs aren't going to take anything tonight. They're going to call pretty much everything, and Logan shows the ball just a little bit to the Middleville defense, and he's going to get a 15-yard penalty off of that one. Great play by Haslett, though, and Logan gets a nice birthday present there.
And let's take a look at the official call. He's just going to say touchdown, and then he's going to say dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Vikings.
So this extra point try is going to be just a little bit longer here for JJ.
It's going to be a lot longer. Looks like they're going to back the ball up to about the 17-yard line. And that's where Danhoff's going to have to attempt this extra point.
It's going to be about a 35-yard extra point attempt here, Evan. And that's a long ways for a high school kicker.
Yes, it is, but this is no ordinary high school kicker. This is J.J. Danhoff, brother of Matt Danhoff, who was all-league last year. J.J.'s played very well so far this year. This, without a doubt, though, is going to be his hardest extra point try. Saltzgaber will hold. And that's low and no good. But the Vikings on top 6-0 as they draw first blood from the Middleville Trojans.
So the taunting penalty ended up hurting the Vikings there as 35-yard field goal, or extra point, excuse me, was no good. And maybe he tried to kick it just a little too hard, knowing that he was back a little bit further, and that could have caused the miss.
One thing that amazes me about Barnhart is that breakaway speed. Look at this. As soon as he hits that hole, he is gone. No one is going to catch him. He outran Kevin Van Ryn there, was the last man to try to catch him, and he couldn't.
Right there's the taunting penalty. He pointed the ball to defense, and
can't have that going on, and the Vikings are going to have to avoid that later in the game. Haslett set to kick off. Back deep to receive, I think, is number 9, Dan Keel. But they're going to kick it low and away. It's picked up by one of the up men, number 22, Tim Stevens. And he is going to be brought down by Brendan Harden. Didn't get much of a return on that, only brought it out to about his 24-yard line, and that's where Middleville will go to work.
Harden with an excellent play right there. Got a replay here as Harden comes up and just absolutely hammers him, and there's no way he's gonna keep running after that hit.
Same formation for the Trojans. And they're gonna run it. Looked like they were gonna run an option as he faked it, but he gave it right up the middle to Mizog 11. And he's gonna move it out to about the 34.
So it looks like Middleville's trying to establish Miso Glavin there as their premier runner, and they've given the ball to him a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's been running very well. He picked up about 9 yards there on that play. The split right is Ken Van Ryn. As they set their offense, the give is to Glavin again, and he busts out off the right-hand side, breaking tackles as he rambles all the way inside the Haslett 40-yard line. First down and much, much more for the Middleville Trojans.
So Glavin comes right back, and Middleville's looking good and moving the ball on the Haslett defense here, and doesn't look like the touchdown affected that offense too much.
No, they came right out, and they're running right at the Vikings. Looks like Middleville is just going to stay in this same set here all night, Jeff. They haven't gone out of this formation. Finkbeiner, and he keeps it this time and pitches it. The pitch was to number 14, Zaya Zook, and he was absolutely hammered there on the Vikings sideline.
Mark Trotter on the hit, and he's known as a big hitter, and he proved it right there. That was an excellent hit there.
Trotter was just a devastating blow there. And the Trojans did manage to pick up about 2 yards on the play. which is pretty good considering it looked like they were going to be stuffed in their own backfield. Well, now we've got a different formation. We've got twins to the right in the pro formation. Finkbeiner, it's going to be a reverse. And there is nowhere to go for number 88, Nate Price. He is wrapped up and brought down by number 30, Ben Murray.
Looks like Jeremy Telfer also in on the tackle there.
It's going to be a 3rd and long here for Middleville.
So a little trickery from Middleville there, but Haslett's defensive end stay home and read the play well and made a good play.
3rd down, 7 yards to go. Finkbeiner checks the defense. One safety is back for the Vikings. And they're going to run it with Glavin, and he's got room and a 1st down to the Haslett 21-yard line. And I was wondering when they were going to go back to their bread and butter, Jeff. Haslett's not been able to stop him yet.
They haven't even been close to stopping him yet. He is just running wherever he wants. Huge holes for Glavin to run through right now. The Middleville offensive line is doing an excellent job right now of opening holes for him.
Most of the running's been on that right-hand side. And the Vikings making a defensive line substitution, putting in big number 77, Brandon Dutcher, try to plug up those holes. And there's the run. It's going to go to Glavin again, but he still moves forward for about 3 yards.
Brandon Dutcher.
And Dutcher was the man to make that stop.
Balls at the 19-yard line, 2nd and 5.
Actually, he may have picked up even more than 3 yards.
He's a tough, hard runner, and hasn't found a way to stop him yet.
Now,
Possibly have to make an adjustment.
If I'm Middleville here, I might go to the air on this play, and if it doesn't work, then just go right back to Glavin. And they do have twins split out to the right. And here's the play. It's going to go up the middle with number 22, Tim Stevens. He moves forward about a yard or two shy of the 1st down.
Big play right here. 3rd and short. Well inside Haslett territory, inside the 20 for red zone.
This is the 2nd time Middleville's been down here. The 1st time they came back with nothing, and this time they'd like to have something to show for it. Split right, pro formation, backfield. Finkbeiner calls the signals and hands it to Glavin. He moves forward, looks very close. He may not have gotten it. Nope, he did get it as the official is signaling for 1st down. Clock continues to roll here.
So once again, Glavin gets the ball and picks up a 1st down there.
In case you're just joining us here on TV 25 Sports, we're bringing you 1st-round playoff coverage between the Haslett Vikings and the Middleville Trojans. Haslett on top 6-0, but Middleville is threatening. Twins to the left for Finkbeiner. And they're going to run it with Glavin. He spins one man, and then Harden is going to bring him down after he picks up about a yard, down just inside the 10-yard line.
Good play there by Harden.
Wrapped him up and brought him right down.
So Middleville set up the run very well. We'll see if they come with the air anytime soon. They got twins to the left on this set, Evan.
They've only thrown the ball once so far tonight, and it was battered right back in Finkbeiner's face by number 53, Wayne Butler. Let's see if they go to the air here. Fumbled snap, and Finkbeiner did not get it back. I think the Vikings have it. Yes, they do. Number 51, Jimmy Mulholland on the fumble recovery, and a big play there for the Vikings.
Jimmy Mulholland always finds himself right in the right place and always makes big plays for this Haslett team. He's a very solid player and makes a lot of tackles, but he also makes big plays that this team needs to win, and he's been a key contributor to that defense this season.
What a big mistake for Middleville. As you can see, he just lost the ball, and it falls in the legs of the defenders, and he wasn't able to get it back. Viking offense, they're going to give it to Barnhart again, and he's got room, but it's brought down from behind by number 70, Jeremy Vandepfeiffer.
And I believe that Jeremy Vandepfeiffer is the leading tackler for this Middleville Trojan defense this year.
Barnhart still manages to pick up a good 7 yards on the play. This clock ticking down inside of 1 minute left to play, first quarter. Scheibele. And the handoff is right up the middle again with Barnhart. He has no room there as we get some noise from that Middleville crowd. Middleville's been playing well tonight. They've been inside the Haslett 20 twice, but just have not been able to come back with any points yet.
Middleville's defense also playing very well. They've given up that one big play to Barnhart.
Third down, about 3 yards to go for the Viking offense. Middleville stacking the line up pretty good here. And Scheibele's going to keep it. And he is wrapped up and will be stopped well behind that first down marker. And that's going to bring up a fourth down for the Vikings.
That'll run out the first quarter, too. A very fast first quarter there. The ball wasn't dead very much, and the clock was ticking away. And got through that quarter pretty quick, and we got a 6-0 lead for the Haslett Vikings over the Middleville Thornapple Catalog Trojans.
Now, the Vikings have got to be happy with their first half performance, but there's also got to be some problems. They have not yet stopped Miso Glavin, and it was only for that fumble that the Trojans were stopped. And there's Coach Porritt discussing with Brandon Harden, key player on the defense, maybe what to do to stop Glavin, as the Vikings are going to have to put a stop to his running if they want to keep these Trojans away from him. But right now they've got a big problem. They're going to have to punt from inside their own 20-yard line, and the last time they punted, the snap was fumbled by Mark Stocker, as it's got to be hard to catch that ball in such cold weather conditions.
Even if he gets his punt off, Middleville is most likely going to have very, very good field position.
And it looks like they're going to go after it. They've only left one man deep. And Middleville is going to try to block this one.
Smart move by Middleville.
Snap is good. Stocker gets it off. A good punt. High spiral. And it's going to drop down about the 43-yard line of Haslett. But Middleville is going to have excellent position to start off this offensive possession.
Like we said, even if you get it off, it's just going to leave Middleville with very good field position as Haslett recovers the fumble but can't move the ball at all. And I'm going to give Middleville the ball back after 3 plays with good field position and see if they can stop Glavin. I'm not going to see Middleville going right back to Glavin.
Yeah, they've got a twins formation split out to the left. Pro backfield. Finkbeiner. And he's going to hand it, and we've got a penalty marker down. I can only assume it's holding. It was thrown by the umpire, and it's most likely going to be holding against the Trojans. And it is. 9 times out of 10, when the umpire throws a flag, it's going to be holding against the offense. So that's going to move Middleville back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, but it looks like the spot was a few yards forward, so let's see where they put the ball.
Excuse me, that must have been a very blatant hold, as soon as the play started, the umpire had already thrown the flag.
Yeah, it was a very quick flag. But it's going to bring them back to about first down and 17. Pro formation, late substitution for Haslett. They're going to get away with it, though. And the give is going to be to Glavin. He'll pick up about 3 off that right side.
So now with that penalty, Haslett's defense has got Middleville's offense in a position that they would like to keep them in. A long, long second down here.
Yeah, Middleville is going to have to put the ball in the air or do something here in order to try to pick up this yardage. And it's been tough yardage against the Viking defense. The only thing that they've been able to move the ball with is Glavin. Finkbeiner. And he fakes the toss, throws it deep. Cahill was beaten, and number 5, Ken Van Ryn, dropped the ball as the fake had obviously gotten Cahill, and he was beaten to the far corner, but luckily for him, Van Ryn dropped the ball.
Excellent play there, and Middleville obviously scouted Haslett and thrown a little bit of a fade, but also with a great fake, and Cahill bit on it just a little bit, and that was all the room that number 5,
Ken Van
Ryn, needed, and he just dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's not often that you're going to beat Cahill like that, and when you do, you need to catch the ball, and Middleville wasn't able to do it, and they're left with a 3rd and long here. They're going to throw a little wide receiver screen. Actually, no, it's a halfback pass, and they're going to call pass interference on number 28, Alex Williams, and that's a good call as he bumped into the receiver before the ball was there. The ball was intended for number 22, Tim Stevens, and Williams hit him early on the play.
Williams just got caught up in the air there and jumped to get the ball, but the receiver is still running in stride, and the receiver's got first right to the ball there, so they're going to call the penalty on Alex there.
And even though it's more than 15 yards to a first down, it's going to be an automatic first down because pass interference comes with that. So Middleville gets a break here from the Haslett defense and moves the chains. That's a penalty you really can't afford to get called on a lot with the automatic first down.
It's one of those penalties that we talked about in the pregame that you just couldn't have. Haslett's had a few of those already tonight.
Finkbeiner is going to hand it to Glavin. There is not a lot of room as he does spin on a great second effort to pick up a couple yards, but he was wrapped up pretty quickly by the Vikings. Still managed to get some good yardage. The Vikings are really going to need to start wrapping up and moving him backwards.
Like we said before, though, penalties were going to be a problem for the team that had the most, and right now Haslett's got a unsportsmanlike conduct 15-yard penalty that cost them an extra point, and right there it cost them possession of the ball.
Interesting to see if Middleville can do something with it here, and they're going to hand it off that left-hand side to number 14, Zaya Shook. And he's going to move the ball for about 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Middleville's offense has been able to move the ball. They just have not been able to punch it in. Here's another look at that handoff to Shook. She's brought down from behind by Murray. You got to think they're going to go to Glavin here.
3rd and short like this, I got to agree with you, Evan.
And Finkbeiner draws the defense offside, and that'll be an automatic first down, assuming that none of his offensive linemen moved.
So once again, Haslett defense with another penalty that's going to give Middleville a first down, and their defense has really kept this drive alive for Middleville.
Boy, Coach Port must really be pulling his hair out right now, as the Vikings have had a few key penalties to keep this drive alive. And it's going to be a handoff to Glavin, and he had room on that right-hand side, picking up some good yardage.
I got a feeling we're going to be hearing his name a lot more tonight, Evan.
Yeah, he's definitely the workhorse for this team. Picks up about 7 on the play. Got to think the Vikings are going to make some adjustments at halftime to try to stop him as the clock rolls to about 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Vikings on top, 6-0. Finkbeiner. And he's going to keep it and pitches it, and it's nearly dropped. But Zaya Shook was able to hang on to it as he went out of bounds on the far sideline, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Comes up limping a little bit there.
There's a look at Mr. Town's daughter, Ashley, and his wife. They're obviously having a good time here tonight. Mr. Town, the TV25 director here at Haslett. Very fortunate to have him along with us. Finkbeiner, and Haslett showing blitz possibly. Changed the play, gave it to Glavin, and he's going to be close.
This possibly could need a measurement here.
Well, the dial-it-down marker was moved to 4 and then back to 3, but the official is going to signal for a first down. And Middleville really threatening again here. All 3 times they've had the ball, they've gotten in the Haslett red zone, and they haven't come out with any points yet, but that may change. First down and goal.
And there we are.
There's
up
a
in the
look
press
at us
box.
up here in the booth. As here's Finkbeiner. As he pitches it to Glavin. Glavin with a lot of room. Knocked down inside the 5. Yeah, Jeff, is that a little bit of pizza sauce there on the side of your face?
All right now.
Good play there by Middleville as they are really starting to threaten. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and goal. Mark Trotter came up with a stop on that one.
So big threat here by Middleville. Haslett's defense really has to rise to the occasion here.
Yeah, they're really boxing up and not giving a lot of leeway here as they're not expecting Middleville to go to the air. And they won't. The quarterback's going to keep it, but he's brought down from behind. And it looked like Haslett may have stripped the ball.
And they did.
Inside the 5-yard line, Middleville fumbles again. And Haslett has been so fortunate tonight that Middleville has not yet punched it in on any of their red zone opportunities. Their offense has consistently moved the ball. They've gotten deep into Haslett territory, but each time they've come out with nothing. And the Vikings get another big break that time as Finkbeiner fumbled again.
Wow. That's one of the keys that we talked about, turnovers, and Middleville's given up 2 already.
And the Vikings have given up 1.
Haslett's buried way back in their own territory now, though.
And the handoff is off the left-hand side. And they're going to move it out to about the 5-yard line, getting a little more real estate running with Barnhart there.
Still way back in their own territory. Not really where you want to start an offensive drive, but Haslett will take it after Middleville moved the ball on a few Haslett penalties, and the defense came up with another fumble recovery.
Now, if Middleville had kicked that field goal and then scored 2 touchdowns, they'd be up 17-6 right now. But as a result of those 2 fumbles, they still stand at 0. The handoff is going to be to the far side, and it's going to go to Ehrig, and he had a lot of room, and he moves forward for a Viking 1st down. A lot of daylight there.
We got the Haslett defense there, Coach Porritt.
Drawn up on the grease board there. Obviously trying to figure out what to do here.
Stopping Glavin there.
It's not going to be easy. The Vikings have been fortunate.
Excuse me. Wrong line. 15-yard line. 1st down.
Vikings with the ball at their own 15. Handoff went off that left side. Not much daylight, only 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
I don't know if you've noticed, Evan, but the refs are a little bit slow to blow the whistle on Haslett's offense there. I mean, Shepard was down for a few seconds before they blew the whistle, and the refs know that this team has pretty good faking abilities. And
yeah, the refs don't look like they're too familiar with the wing T offense. Shepard is going to be wing right. Barnhart and Ehrig in the backfield. And that's who they're going to give it to is Ehrig, but he's got 3 men to stop him out over on the right-hand side, and he may have lost a yard or 2 on that play, Jeff.
Very quick defensive play right there. Middleville shows their speed.
Ehrig a little slow to get up there, but he moves back into the huddle. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Vikings.
You belong to a green Ford minivan. You left your lights on. Green Ford minivan.
Middleville defense getting things set up. The Vikings with their usual wing T backfield. And Shively kept it, and he's knocked out of bounds about the 29, and he picks up the Viking 1st down. A great call there. Plenty for the 1st down.
Shively with hard running there for a quarterback. He doesn't get too many carries in this offense, but he showed right there that he's going to make the most out of every single one.
Great running there by Shively. As he picks up those last couple tough yards for Haslett.
He's not going to slide down like most quarterbacks.
And the ball went to Barnhart. And he had some daylight off left tackle. And he's going to bring it out. Looks like another 1st down.
Logan just kind of popped out of the pile there, found some little bit of a hole there and made the most of it and picks up a first down for Haslett. And their offense has moved the ball well, starting at their own 2-yard line here, Ev.
Yeah. Playing excellent right now. Moving the ball fairly consistently. Shively. He's going to hand it to Barnhart. He's got... Ooh, he had... looked like he had a lot of room on the right-hand side and then was knocked out of bounds by 2 players, but he still picks up 15 on the carry. Actually, more about 20.
Hard running by Logan there as Shively and Logan have both shown on this drive that they're not going to go down easy.
Here's another look at that play. Barnhart couldn't quite get there before those last 2 defenders did, but still a great run.
Logan running well as Glavin is right now.
If not better. Shively's going to give it to Eric, and everyone was fooled. And a fumble. It's picked up by Middleville, and he's going to run, and he knocked Shively out of bounds. Couldn't quite tell what happened. He did step out at about the 30-yard line. It was returned by number 9, Dan Keel. There is a penalty marker on the play.
We'll have to see what the penalty is there.
I'm going to assume that it's going to be against the Vikings.
And if so, Middleville's going to stop a very, very good drive by Haslett's offense there.
And I think that actually the penalty is going to go against Middleville here. Here's another look at this play. As you can see where Eric fumbled.
Number 9, Dan Keel there. But on the penalty, Haslett's going to retain possession. Got to look at the crowd there.
The Vikings fortunate to get the ball back after that one. They've had a lot of luck in this first half.
So it's 3 minutes and 39 seconds left in the first half. Haslett gets a little bit of luck there. A little help from the refs.
And the ball is going to be moved inside the Middleville 20-yard line.
Did you catch what that penalty was there, Evan?
No, I couldn't see. It was on the far end of the field, and I wasn't able to see what the official had called. Actually,
there's a face mask as the ref gives us the signal there.
Face mask call of the 15-yard variety.
So as Haslett's defense helped Middleville out to keep their drive going, Middleville's defense helps Haslett's offense out there.
The only difference is Middleville continuing to turn the ball over inside the Haslett 20. There's the give to Eric, and he cuts back for the touchdown. And the Vikings going to go up 12-0 here. I think that they're going to most likely go for 2. But no, there's a holding call on Haslett. That's going to come back. Here's another look. Can't quite see where the holding was. It was a great run by Eric, but this penalty is going to take the Vikings back 10 yards.
So a big call there as penalties have played a very, very important role in this game so far. There's a 15-yard penalty there.
Actually, I think it was a personal foul. Still couldn't tell who it was on, or exactly what the infraction was. But the Vikings have backed up now to 1st and 25. Shively's going to keep it, and he has got a lot of room moving inside the 20, steps out of bounds. He picks up a good 13 yards on that carry.
Shively with some more tough running right there as he got hit pretty hard right there at the end of the play, but pops right back up and heads to the huddle.
Clock really not an issue right now for the Vikings. There's still 3.5 minutes left.
And there's Shively.
Running
Look
very
right
hard.
here, he gets hit real pretty hard there by number 72, Ben Lucas.
And Haslett's going to call their first timeout to discuss things. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 here. It's coming out for the Vikings. Now, Jeff, I'm not sure what those Middleville coaches ate for breakfast this morning, but a lot of them are wearing shorts.
Yeah,
And,
I'm a little puzzled by that too. I don't know.
I'm pretty cold up here in the booth, and I've got a jacket on and everything, and I just don't understand what would possess a man to wear shorts to this game, but maybe it was some kind of a bet with the players.
Possibly could be something superstitious, maybe a little good luck or something.
Yeah, you never know. Athletes oftentimes are very superstitious.
But in any case, he's wearing shorts, and I'm guessing those coaches are cold right now.
I'm guessing he's hurting. Atluski discussing with his offense what's going to happen next. As there's a look at the Middleville team. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. 3:26 remaining in the first half.
At a packed Viking stadium tonight.
Shively. He's going to hand it to Barnhart. And he is going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that carry. 3rd down for the Vikings. Moves it to the 12.
So they go to Barnhart.
And it's going to bring up 3rd down, about 5 yards to go. From the Middleville 13, Ehrig, wing right. Barnhart. Ehrig in the backfield. Actually, Shepard is wing right. And they're going to go with Ehrig, and he is going to be stopped quickly. And Haslett, I would guess, is going to go for the field goal in this situation.
A lot of Middleville Trojans there to make that tackle.
Good play to converge on the ball as Middleville appears to finally have put the stop to this drive. Here's another look at that run with Ehrig. As you can see, stopped, hit very hard by number 86.
Zach Truer. Excellent hit.
Another timeout for the Vikings. You have to think maybe a fake here, or maybe they're just going to decide to go for it. They do have still a good 5 yards to make if they do decide to go for it on this play. And they have busted a few plays open here tonight, but Middleville's defense not really giving anything away.
But don't forget, I do believe that backup quarterback Pat Saltzgaber is the holder, and we've seen Pat lead the Vikings to victory in, I believe, 4 games this season, or was it 3?
Well, here's another look at that hit. Ouch. You can see Ehrig go right backwards. Yeah, Saltzgaber leading the Vikings to victory. And the big 2 games he did that in were Portland and Fowlerville. He also helped them beat Stockbridge. Puts it down. The kick is up, away, and it's good. The Vikings go on top 9-0.
J.J. Danhoff there with an excellent field goal.
Danhoff missed that first extra point, but it was from about 35 yards out, and kicks that field goal in with no problem.
A lot more relaxed there, Danhoff looked.
Well, the Vikings will be kicking off to Middleville, leaving them 2:17 left on the clock.
So we'll see if Middleville go to the air here, maybe.
I don't think the Vikings are going to kick this ball deep. I think Danhoff's just going to keep it low and squibbly and try to make one of the up men pick this up. It's getting colder here. A lot of the players wearing long sleeves. Danhoff is going to kick this ball fairly deep. It's dropped at the 15-yard line. And then they try to do a little starburst, and it's not going to work. They're only going to bring the ball out to about their own 14-yard line, as it looked like Nate Lavoie was the man to finally get the ball. But not a good idea to run that starburst after you fumble the kick.
Great kick there by J.J. Danhoff as he comes off a nice field goal. Makes a nice kick to start off.
Middleville's got a lot of green in front of them to try to get down and score a touchdown. Wouldn't be surprised, Jeff, if you're right and they do go to the air. Pro backfield and twins to the right. Oh, they're just going to go back to their bread and butter there, handing it to Mizo Galevin.
It looks like Haslett's starting to key on him just a little bit more, and he's not picking up those 7, 8, 9-yard gains that he usually, or that he has been.
Yeah, he picks up about 4 there. So the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes. Viking defense looking for the deep ball. And Finkbeiner hands it up the middle. Only about 2 or 3 yards there. Glavin running again. Stu Gliwa made the stop. Glavin's really been the only workhorse here tonight. None other players really picked up any yardage from Middleville.
Nobody else has done anything for Middleville offensively tonight. As quarterback Dan Finkbeiner has fumbled a few times.
That's really hurt his team. Inside the 22 times and you fumble it. And there's a throw from Finkbeiner to the far sideline. It's going to be called incomplete. And Middleville is going to be forced to punt, leaving Haslett with still a good 51 seconds on the clock. That might be enough time to score.
Possibly get it back into field goal range even, as JJ showed that he's capable of making those and on the last possession.
It'll depend on how good this kick is that we see from the Trojans.
We'll see if Alex Williams hangs on to the ball. He's had a few problems last game against Gaylord.
Jeremy Vandepfeiffer to punt the ball for the Trojans. Williams waiting back at his own 45-yard line, low snap. Handled well, a horrible kick, and it's going to hit his own man. And then Cahill is going to down it at the 33-yard line with 45 seconds left on the clock. Haslett with 1 timeout remaining.
Horrible punt there, and this is going to give Haslett excellent field position here with 45 seconds left and a timeout.
Just an atrocious kick as it was far too low, and it ended up hitting one of his own men in the back and taking a good Haslett roll as Cahill wisely decided to jump on it before it hit one of his teammates.
Smart play by Nathan there, and Haslett's got 3 split.
And they can't seem to get this play right as Smith is going to come back.
Jeff Smith's going to come back in.
He was obviously set wrong as Shively had called him back in. The give is going to be to Barnhart. He breaks a tackle. Moves it inside the 20-yard line. Barnhart to the 10, 5. Not going to score there. This is knocked out right at the 1.
So a little bit of trickery there from Haslett as Middleville probably expecting pass in this situation. Haslett throws 2 out to the left. Has big Jeff Smith on the right side, and then they just hand it up the middle to Logan Barnhart, and a big, huge hole there.
Vikings playing great football late here in the first half. Shepard, wing right. Barnhart and Eric in the backfield. Give us to Barnhart. It's going to be pushed backwards. Not a lot of room there. Otluski telling his team to hurry up, and they're going to call for a timeout with 30 seconds remaining.
So possibly look for Haslett to go outside here. As I doubt that Middleville Thornapple Kellogg is going to leave any room up the middle. Maybe go to Shepard here in short yardage situation, but I think the pass could be open here, Ev.
It'd be interesting to see if Haslett goes to the air, especially with no timeouts remaining. If you run the ball, you're going to have to go right up. In this situation, Otluski's going to have to call 2 plays here in this huddle so the Vikings can get set right back up if they don't score on the first one.
Excellent point, Evan. And I think we're going to see Haslett go to the air here. Maybe outside sweep to Barnhart or Ehrig, both with very good speed. But Middleville's defense has showed good speed also. And
if they go with the middle, don't be surprised if they hand it to big number 32, Steve Shepard. Picks up those tough yardage plays.
So teams break from the timeout huddles and
regular set for the Vikings. Middleville stacks the line. You think they might bring their backers up a little more, but they don't. They give it to Ehrig. No, actually, Shively kept it, and he's going to be brought down, and brought down hard. And they're going to call a flag, I think, on Middleville for trying to delay the game.
Ball's going to be down at the 3-yard line.
Personal foul on Middleville for trying to hold Shively down there to get that clock to continue to roll. They might put a few more seconds on it as it rolled past where the official wanted it to.
They're going to put 5 more seconds up on the clock for Haslett. Move it up to 22 seconds. We'll see what the play is here. As
they're going to mark the ball at half the distance to the goal line. So let's see where it's going to be. Looks at about the 2. And the clock is rolling. The Vikings need to score here. Ehrig, touchdown. Haslett going up 15-0. And they're going to go for 2.
12.7 seconds left.
Here's a look at that play again. Ehrig, and no one was able to touch him as he just rolls right into the end zone.
So as it goes up 15-0, and they're going to go for 2 here.
Wise decision. Try to get a 17-0 lead. Shively. And he's going to throw. He's got Shepard wide open, and he's got it. 17-0. The Vikings on top of Middleville here.
So that punt really, really hurt Middleville as they gave Haslett excellent field position to start this drive on their own 33, and then Haslett comes right out, moves the ball right down to the 1-yard line. 3 plays later, Peter Ehrig's in the end zone, and Steve Shepard's got a 2-point conversion to put the Vikings up 17-0. Definitely not what Middleville wanted.
Gotta say also, Middleville is not playing that smart of football. You gotta think that the officials are gonna be watching to see if you're trying to get that clock to roll. And holding those Viking players down, not exactly what I'd call a smart play.
Even though it probably ate up a little bit more time, it probably would have been just as smart just for the get right back up. It probably would have ran the clock down. It might have been just a little bit hurried.
But the Vikings punch in another score and go up 17-0. And barring a minor miracle here, that's what the score will be going into the half.
So Dan Huff set to kick off for the 3rd time this half. 4th time, my fault, excuse me.
And
3rd.
Good kick over there on the left-hand side. Will be taken about the 20-yard line. Butler tried to make the stop, and the runner is going to move it out to about the 37 with 5.9 seconds. Tim Stevens was the man on the return.
So Dan Hoff with a good kickoff there and good coverage.
Ben Brook was the man to finally bring him down.
This will probably be the last play of the first half here. And
Middleville's going to spread things out. Split right, split left, pro formation backfield. Finkbeiner. And no, he's just going to hand it right up the middle of the Glevin as they're going to play it safe and go into the locker room. Down 17-0 to the hosting Haslett Vikings, who've been playing excellent football so far.
Haslett's defense has allowed Middleville to move the ball pretty well, but they come up big when they need it and cause a few fumbles and get a few recoveries, and those turnovers are really the keys right now to Haslett being up.
Yeah, the Vikings also have been fairly lucky, I would say, not to have Middleville score yet. They've been inside the Haslett 23 times, and we keep mentioning those fumbles, but they're so key. The turnovers can be so key, especially in big playoff games like this. And that's really hurting Middleville right now because they could have had a couple scores there, and we'd have possibly a 3-point game, but as a result of those turnovers, they are down 17-0. And going into halftime down 17-0 against the Haslett Vikes is a real tall order to try to get things back going your way in the second half. And although they will get the ball to start things off, it's not going to be easy.
Especially against this very, very good defense that Haslett has.
Yeah, the only problem the Vikings have had so far tonight has been stopping Miso Glavin, but I'm sure that they're going to discuss that in the locker room. We are going to turn things over, though, to the Haslett Viking Marching Band. And I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but they did come home with a first division at Festival this year. And the band has been excellent this year, and they've had a little more time. And my hat's off to the band for practicing out in that cold morning weather every day this week. They get out there about 7:30 in the morning and get things going. And for those of us around the area, we know that the weather at 7:30 in the morning is not very forgiving. So we're going to hand it over to the band here, directed by Jim McCaffrey, and the drum major is Robin Vatz.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 1998 Haslett High School Viking Marching Band. Under the direction of Mr. James E. McCaffrey and Mr. Gregory J. Lindsay. Drum major Robin Vatz is the band ready to present their first division award-winning show this evening. The band begins their 1998 presentation, a salute to Broadway musical, with the jazz prologue from the popular Broadway musical, City of Angels. popular melodies made famous by the incomparable Barbara Streisand. The band continues their presentation with one of Streisand's first hit musicals, Funny Girl. We feature our color guard to the driving tune, Don't Rain on My Parade. The band concludes their final halftime presentation with a beautiful and compelling ballad from the Tony Award-winning musical, A Chorus Line. Here is the lush Marvin Hamlish ballad, What I Did for Love. The Viking band was directed by Mr. James and the captain, Mr. Greg Watson. The color guard instructor,
All right, welcome back to the now frozen tundra of Vikings Stadium as it has gotten exceedingly cold here tonight. I believe we are now down below freezing temperatures for the second half of play between the Haslett Vikings and the Middleville Trojans. Haslett comes out of the locker room up 17-0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Middleville has been inside the Haslett 23 times tonight. One time they missed a field goal, and the other two, quarterback Finkbeiner fumbled twice. So Middleville has not been without their chances to score here tonight. And you got to think that they're not ready to throw in the towel yet, Jeff.
Definitely not. They know that they can move the ball, and this has the defense, as they've shown. They just got to hang on to the ball when they get down inside that 20-yard line.
I think the biggest problem for Middleville here in the second half is that the Vikings are really going to start to key in on Mizo Glavin, as he has been really the only Trojan able to move the ball. As they've tried to go to the air, they've tried to run the option, nothing has really worked but the give to Glavin. And you got to think that maybe they drew up some, maybe they're going to, go to different plays and stuff here in the second half, but still the Vikings, I'm sure, are going to be keying on Glavin much, much more. There's a look at Nick Shively.
Warming up there, getting his arm loose.
Getting ready for this big second half, the biggest second half of his life so far as a Viking. But as we mentioned earlier, the Vikings coming in with a fairly comfortable 17-point lead. Middleville is going to really have to get things rolling early on offense if they want to get back in this game. But the thing that they're going to have to do that's not going to be easy is stop number 33, Logan Barnhart for the Vikings, who's been unstoppable so far on his birthday.
He hasn't carried the ball many times, but when he has, he's really made the most of it.
He's really opened things up for the Viking offense. Dan Hoff will kick. Official and him discussing some things here. Not sure if you could hear the crowd there, but they're cheering happy birthday to Logan. Vikings look ready to kick. Just waiting for the official whistle. There it is. Dan Hoff kicks it low to the left-hand side. It's picked up there by number 1 for Middleville, who finds a lot of room on the left-hand side. Trying to go outside. Butler bringing him down from behind, but not before Nate Lavoie could get to the Viking 45-yard line. A great opening play for the Middleville Trojans.
Big, big play right there. Get a little confidence back after that end of the first half with a Viking touchdown. Middleville starts the second half with a good return, and Butler, luckily for Haslett, makes a nice play to pursue and bring down Nate Lavoie there.
Lavoie picked the ball up on the right-hand side of the field and had great vision moving it over to the left sideline. First down and 10 from the Viking 45. Finkbeiner. And he's going to hand it up the middle. And it's to number 33, Glavin, and he moves a good 9.5 yards, nearly 10, right towards that first down marker.
So there's those big holes we were talking about earlier in the game. As the Middleville offensive line opens up another one, and Glavin runs right through it. Picks up a few more yards after the first hit as he shows he's a tough runner.
Split right, pro formation backfield for Middleville. And they're going to give it right up the middle again, but he fumbles. And Middleville has just given this game away to the Vikings. They've had chance after chance after chance to put points on the board, and every time they've shot themselves in the foot.
Alex Williams there with the recovery, and it just kind of looked like the ball fell out and just kind of landed right there by Alex. And I don't know if he realized it right at first that the ball was right there next to him, but
the Middleville coaches must just be disgusted with this play, as there's a hit, kind of a lucky hit there to get the ball knocked out, and it landed right in his lap. And there's the give to Logan, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 2 or 3 yards by number 35, Adam Smith. Only a couple on that carry.
Tried to bounce it outside there, and Adam Smith made a nice play. Keep him inside and wrap him up there for the tackle.
Vikings with that same wing tee backfield. Shively. And he gave it to Shepard. Shepard dragged down by number 21, Jason Barger, but not before Steve could pick up the first down.
So the Viking offense comes out, picks up a first down on their first series, and looks like they're ready to move the ball.
They got the ball on their own 35-yard line. Here's another look at that run from Shepard. Found some good room there off the left tackle. Vikings, 1st and 10. Shively looked like he drew a man off sides. And then the handoff is to Shepard, who fumbled and got the ball back. Lucky play there for Haslett.
So Haslett with its first fumble of the game, but luckily they get it back, and Middleville can't come up with a golden opportunity there as Shepard put the ball right on the ground, right in front of a few Middleville defenders.
Really seems like the Vikings have said their prayers to the fumble gods before tonight's game, as they have really lucked out on that so far tonight. Here's another look at it. Shepard just never really got the ball.
Just a bad exchange.
Good play there to jump right back on it. 2nd down and 10. Shively's going to give it to Ehrig. Ehrig, after a pickup of about 4 yards, is brought down. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, about 6 yards to go.
Ehrig out to the 38.
So a big play here early in the second half as Middleville needs to stop Haslett's drive here and get the ball back and try to put some points on the board to stay within reach of this Haslett Viking team.
Shively. And he's going to keep it. Cuts up field. 1st down for the Vikings. And he lost the ball, but not until he hit the ground. So a 1st down out near midfield for Haslett.
So far in the second half, it looks like it's gotten just a little bit colder and the players are trying to adjust. As few fumbles so far. As we see Shively come off the left end.
Great running there by Nick.
Hard running from him all night.
Shively's going to throw. Looking for Saltzgaber. The ball was well overthrown.
Good coverage there by Middleville as they had 3 men right there around Saltzgaber.
Yeah, they were definitely ready for that play, surprisingly enough, as that's been one of the first time the Vikings have gone to the air so far tonight. There's a look at the Viking helmet. The hammers stand for good plays on defense, and there are footballs that stand for good plays on offense. No footballs on that side of the helmet. Shively. He's going to hand it to Barnhart. Barnhart spins his way for about 5 yards off the left side. Clock continues to roll. About 8 minutes remain now in the 3rd quarter.
Haslett with a very controlled drive to this point. Another big 3rd down here, 3rd and 6.
Vikings on top, 17-0. Shively hands it to Ehrig. A sweep off the right-hand side, nearly caught in the backfield. Cuts it up, brought down at the ankles, and skipped forward close to the 1st down. And official timeout for measurement.
Great cutback there as Ehrig shows great vision on this play, and to make a cutback as we'll get a second chance here as he coming off the right side and he sees just a little hole there and makes a nice cutback to get close to the 1st down.
Yeah, smart play by Ehrig not to try to continue to take that ball outside. And the Vikings are short.
We'll see if they go for it here as Middleville showed that they can move the ball, but they've just fumbled every time they've been moving the ball, but Haslett's going to go for it here.
4th down, about a foot. Shepard, wing right. Eric and Barnhart in the backfield. Shepard goes in motion. Give us to Barnhart. First down and more off the left tackle. And the Viking offense continues to move.
First down, the ball will be at the 37, 38-yard line.
Good call there to give it to Barnhart, as he's been running very well, and he's seeming to find the holes tonight.
There's another look at that play. Great lead block by Shepard, really paving the way for Barnhart.
Big hole there, and all he needed was a couple feet.
And the moon in the sky beginning to look very ominous towards the Middleville Trojans, as things have just not been going their way. And that handoff went to Eric, and he cuts it back for some good yardage there. And Viking offense starting to become like a machine, pounding out 3 or 4 yards a carry.
That offensive line looks like they made a few adjustments possibly in the locker room. Starting to move the ball very, very, very well now.
Ball is marked about the 32-yard line.
Got another shot of us up in the press box.
Here we go. Shively. And he's going to give it to, no, he keeps it, faked it to Eric, and he's going to be brought down from behind by number 21, Jason Barger.
Great speed there by Jason. He came from way from the other side and brought Shively down, and Shively's not slow.
Looked like he came from a left end, possibly left corner position, and just hunted Shively down there in the backfield. Great play.
So a big 3rd and 7 here for the Vikings, and also the Trojans. So they need to come up with a defensive stop and get the ball back here.
Shively. He's going to give it to Barnhart. Barnhart had some room. Maybe should have cut that one back, but rolls ahead for a few yards, but well short of the first down.
See what Haslett elects to do here is
they really could afford to go for it here. If they wanted to punt, they could really pin Middleville back, but it looks like Otluski's just going to elect to go for it here on 4th down. About 5 yards to go.
See if they go to the air here, maybe. And if they don't, I'd look for Barnhart to get the carry.
And some miscommunication between Otluski and the offensive players, and Shively's going to call the first of the Viking timeouts. The Middleville defense really hasn't been toughening up all that much on the Viking run. It's not easy to stop, though. As we look back at those keys for the game so far, the Vikings have struggled with problems with penalties so far tonight, and they've had that personal foul, you know, they had the pass interference call, but otherwise everything's been all right. In terms of the turnovers, definitely has been in the favor of the Vikings, as Middleville has turned the ball over, I think, 3 times now to the Vikings 1. And anytime a team turns the ball over 3 times, they pretty much can give the game away, and that's what Middleville has done here. I mean, they've been so close to scoring so many times on these Vikings and just have not been able to do it. In terms of the running game for the Vikings, obviously has really opened up tonight. Barnhart with some fantastic running. Shepard picking up the rough work, and Eric just basically doing a little bit of both, as he scored a Viking touchdown late in the first half. Eric, just a very versatile runner. He can use that power on you, and then he's got that speed if he gets to the outside. 4th down and 5 for the Vikings. Shively gave it to Barnhart. Barnhart right up the middle and tripped up.
He's going to get the first down, though.
Yes, the officials signal right away, so a first down for Haslett. Clock continues to roll inside of 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Got a shout out to student section there. A full student section for tonight's playoff game.
Definitely out there having a good time tonight. Shively trying to build on this 17-point Haslett lead. Checks his setup. Shepard goes in motion to the left. And the give was to Eric, and he was wrapped up immediately when he brought down and loses about a yard in the play.
Good defense there. Looks like number 72, Ben Lucas, comes out from the bottom of the pile there.
Bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Vikings here. About the 25-yard line of Middleville. Shively settles in under center. You got to think his hands are getting pretty cold here. And he's going to give it to Barnhart off that left side, but he was taken down there pretty quickly by number 21, Jason Barriger, and we've really started to call his name here tonight, Jeff. He's been playing some good football for the Middleville Trojans.
He's quick, but he hits hard, and kind of like the number 21 across on the other side of Mark Trotter.
Definitely the hardest hitter for the Vikings. But a 3rd down and 9 here. Shepard, wing right. Shively. And the play is going to be whistled dead. I think one of the Viking players may have moved early.
See what the call is here.
It's a dead ball, false start on the offense.
It's going to bring it back 5 yards and put Haslett in a little bit more of a hole here.
It's going to be difficult to make this now. It's going to be about 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 for the Vikings.
3rd and 14.
Vikings with that same setup. Shively gives it to Barnhart up the middle. Barnhart cuts back to the right. Hit and brought down well shy of the 1st down as he moves the ball to about the 21-yard line. There's a shot of the Haslett Viking marching band on the sideline trying to get those students pumped up. Really, they're just trying to get those students moving so they don't get too cold. 4th down for the Vikings. 6 yards. Shively checks over the defense. Calls the cadence, and the ball went to Shepard. No, Shively kept it, and it's not going to work that time as the ball goes over to Middleville, but not before Haslett could take a serious chunk of time out of that clock. They're only going to leave Middleville with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter as Haslett controlled the ball for the majority of the 3rd quarter.
But still a big stop by the defense to get Middleville the ball back and not let Haslett put any more points up on the board.
Well, Middleville, their offense has been moving the ball, but they continue to fumble, and they've just not been playing good football here tonight. As they definitely could be right in the thick of things, but due to the turnovers, they're not. They're going to send a man in motion to the right, which is going to make twins on that right-hand side, and they're going to throw a wide receiver screen, and there is no room over there as Steve Shepard comes over to help out, and maybe a gain of a couple on the play for number 5, Ken Van Ryn.
So it looks like Middleville wants to go to the air a little bit more here and possibly move the ball a little bit quicker.
Trojans with the ball on the Haslett 28-yard line. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Send a man in motion again. Finkbeiner is going to hand it off to number 14, Zaya Shook. And he's going to move it out across the 35-yard line for a Middleville 1st down. Clock continues to roll. Stu Gliwa checks into the lineup for the Vikings. First down and 10 Trojans. Split right, split left. And they're going to give it to Glavin.
He's going to pick up a few yards there in that carry.
He's kind of an automatic 2 or 3 yard guy right there, no matter what you do. Vikings have not been able to stop him yet.
We haven't been calling his name a lot in the 2nd half, though, as Middleville just hasn't had the ball.
Well, I would say, Jeff, that Glavin has been perfect tonight, except for that fumble on the last possession. But one fumble can erase all the yards in the world. Finkbeiner. And the give is going to be to Shook. And he's going to pick up a few on the left side. Going to be mighty close to that 1st down marker, maybe 1.5 yards, 2 yards away.
Big 3rd down here as Middleville probably with the time remaining in too darn territory now.
I definitely think that Middleville will go for it if they don't make it here, but they've got time remaining in the quarter. And the give is just going to be to Glavin. And it looks to me like he got it right as the third quarter has come to the close. Yes, he did get the first down, but that is the end of the third quarter here from Viking Stadium with our score, the Haslett Vikings 17 and the Thornapple Kellogg Trojans nothing.
So Hazlett's defense pitching a shutout right now, Evan.
Well, this defense for Haslett is continuing to stop just about everything but Glavin. I'm not really sure why they haven't been able to put a total stop to him here yet. But I'm sure Port's over there working on it with him. But overall, they've been playing good, forcing those turnovers. And I see this game being Haslett's, barring some serious Middleville offensive spark. And Haslett appears to have brought in number 75, Matt Sikarski, the biggest man on the team. And if there's a man that can stop you from making a hole, it's going to be Matt Sikarski. He's not an easy man to move. He's going to be playing down low for the Vikings. His tackle spot. 2 splits and a pro backfield as Finkbinder's going to pass. Passes it over to the left side. It's complete to number 5, Ken Van Ryn, before he's hit in the back by Cahill.
Good hit there by Nathan.
It's a hard pattern to defend there as he ran a little bit of a button hook there, running out and then coming back. And he ran it very well and picks up about 8 or 9 yards on the play. Middleville is really going to start to hustle up their offensive pace. As you can see, they're getting out of the huddle much faster. Finkbeiner checks things out and hands it to Glavin. Glavin, with Hardin and Butler on his back, is not going to get very far. Let's see where forward progress marks him.
Looks like he's close to that first down. And he's going to get it.
He does get it for Middleville as they move the chains here.
So Glavin's really done everything he can tonight to keep his team in the game, well, except for that one fumble. But
he's really been carrying the offense. They really haven't been able to move the ball in much of any other way. The passing game has really been taken away by Cahill. Finkbeiner, he's going to go to Van Ryn again, and he comes over and makes the catch inside the Haslett 20-yard line, and Cahill visibly very upset with himself for letting that one happen.
Great play there by Van Ryn to jump in front what looked like a interception for Cahill. Made a nice reception there, showed that he's a good receiver for Finkbeiner.
Yeah, Finkbeiner underthrew that ball pretty well, but Van Ryn was able to come back and snag it. Here comes Middleville as Finkbeiner kept it. Trotter's going to bring him down, but not before he picked up about 4 or 5 yards. That ball is back deep in Haslett territory, and you got to wonder, is Middleville going to be able to score this time?
Two plays ago.
And now here's another look at that pass to Van Ryn. As you can see, the ball grossly underthrown, and Van Ryn just came back and made a really nice play on that ball. Second down. Finkbeiner is going to throw. Looking to his right, fade corner to the end zone, well overthrows his man. And then we've got a penalty after the fact, assuming that's going to be a personal foul on one team or the other.
Maybe a little bit extra after the whistle there, and it's going to cost.
Oh, it's going to be on Haslett. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike. That's going to move the ball even deeper into Haslett territory and give Middleville a first down.
That's just not a smart play right there. Probably a retaliation there. Something happened that could have caused the player to get a little angry, and it's going to hurt the Vikings, but Middleville's been here before and they haven't come up with anything. So we'll see if they can punch it in the end zone here.
Anything set up. Haslett with a late substitution again, and the officials are going to call a timeout here. Let's see what it's for. And the official is writing something down. I'm not sure what's going on. No official sign yet, as they're just going to signal for the start of the play. Not sure what was going on there. Probably an equipment problem. Finkbeiner checks with his split right. 2 backs in the backfield for a first down. And they give this to Glavin. And he scores. And Middleville finally gets on the board. Haslett's lead now 17-6. And Middleville will most likely just kick the extra point here in this situation.
You need 3 scores in any way you look at it.
It's not going to be an easy route to get back into this one for Middleville, but they've made their first step towards it. And Middleville Thornapple Kellogg, which I believe is the longest name for a high school I've ever heard, has scored their first touchdown tonight on the give to Glavin. And they're going to be kicking, and I think they might have forgotten the block or the kicker. Something's wrong. Well, no, they're going to go for 2 here.
Interesting call there.
Finkbeiner. And they gave it off the right side. It is not going to go, as he was wrapped up and taken back for a loss.
And that's an interesting call there by...
I thought that was a pretty bad call, actually, by the head coach over there, because now you've got to score another touchdown and get 2 and kick a field goal to tie this Haslett team up. I think you just go for 1 in that situation. Here's another look at the touchdown as Glavin just moves forward, just gets the progress. The ball just has to cross the plane for him to score that touchdown, and he does right there. So the Vikings are getting set to receive for only the 2nd time tonight. Barnhart and Eric back, and if you recall, what the Trojans did on the opening kickoff is they just kicked it right at the up man, and Kleinert and Glewo were able to cover the ball.
And that was an interesting call there, not going for 1, and I don't see why that's going to help if you get that extra point there, because regardless of what happens, you're going to have to get 3 scores.
Yeah, well, the Vikings have the hands team out, as it's going to be an onside kick here from Middleville. They've got the whole left side stacked. And it looks like they're getting ready for the old onside kick here. And here it is. It's a low bouncer. It's just the way they like it, but Cahill is going to grab it and cover it up at the Viking 42 as it bounced a little too high, and Nathan Cahill made a good play just to grab it and cover it up for the Vikings. So it'll be Haslett's ball at their own 42, and you can be assured, Jeff, that they're going to keep this on the ground, probably mostly with Barnhart, and try to run some time off this clock.
Here's that onside kick as it bounces a little high. Nathan just goes up, grabs it, and brings it down. Nice play by Nathan there.
The ideal onside kick is low and hard and very bouncy, and they didn't get it that time. And there's the handoff. It's going to go to Eric, and he is wrapped up quickly. One of the interesting things when we talk about onside kicks is I think Haslett's one of the few teams to ever have a backwards onside kick. A couple of years ago in the Marshall game, Ben Eberlein went out there to kick one, and it actually ended up rolling backwards from where the original spot was. Definitely one of the stranger moments in football that we've witnessed. But the Vikings have a 2nd down and 9, and they've got problems with the play calling, and they're going to have to call a timeout. Otluski is not happy.
It looks like what happened there is that Middleville is using a rubber football and Haslett wants the leather football, and the ref didn't get the leather football in the play for the Haslett offense there, and Coach O is visibly upset about that and is discussing it with the officials right now. And when an offense is used to a certain kind of football, you're definitely going to want that kind of football to be used. And
I definitely think you'd want to use a leather football in this situation, being less slippery. Yeah, it's not wet, but it's incredibly cold. And Otluski, as you did say, Jeff, was very upset, and he's going to go over and talk to his offense here. Maybe get him a little riled up. Playing pretty well tonight. They've got 17 points on the board. Barnhart's carried most of the load, but Ehrig and Shepard have both played great roles. And Shively as well, running the ball, has done a good job. 2nd down and 8. And we've got an offside call.
I don't know. It looked like Derek Johnson also made a little bit of movement there on the left side.
Yeah, he may have rocked backwards, and Middleville pointing towards the Vikings, but as is always, the linemen always point at each other.
I think Middleville jumped first, but Derek also made a movement, so it'll be interesting to see what they call. It's going to be offsides on Middleville.
I couldn't really see if Johnson moved there, but not much of a debate now.
2nd and 3 after the penalty. The ball will be at the 49-yard.
Johnson known as Biggity D to his teammates.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. 4th quarter, Vikings up 17-6. The give is to Barnhart. He's got the first down.
Barnhart for the first down inside the 45.
And Haslett moving the ball inside the Middleville 45 on that first down.
So Haslett moving the ball. Clock running. We're under 10 minutes now.
Now Middleville is going to really have to toughen up here on defense. They need to get this ball back if they want to have a shot at coming back and winning this game. Here's Shively giving it to Barnhart off the left side. Barnhart cuts back. Falls forward for a good 5-yard gain.
On the play, Nate Leroy.
Nate Leroy ended up making the stop
41-yard line.
as Haslett moves it to the 41.
Got a replay here on that run. Last run by Barnhart. Picks up about 3 to 4 yards there.
There's a wing left here for the Vikings as he goes in motion. And the give is going to be to Barnhart. Tough yardage there against Middleville, who started to stack the lineup a little bit. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go.
So we'll see what they go to here. Possibly Shively keeping the ball. He's picked up first downs earlier in this game for Haslett, and he's been running hard.
Big play here for the Middleville defense. They need a stop. The Vikings are going to try to roll over him for another first down. And they left at an odd time there. But they pick up the first down as it appeared like the line and the backfield were on a different page in terms of the count. But Barnhart gets the Viking first down.
So Haslett keeps that clock running and keeps that ball moving.
So the clock now becoming Haslett's best friend and Middleville's worst enemy. If the Vikings can get another score, they can really put the final nail in the coffin here against Middleville. But if they don't score, they leave Middleville still in the game. Shively's going to take off on the quarterback keeper, the 20, the 15, 10, 5, knocked out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Great run there by Shively. 1st and goal for the Vikings.
Shively showing there that he's been running hard, and that's been open all night as he's picked up 10 to 15 yards each time. And right there, he picks up about 30 and brings it down to the Middleville 5-yard line to put Haslett in great position to put another one in the end zone here.
Vikings sticking with their base wing tee. Actually, no, they've got a wing left, and Shepard and Barnhart in the backfield. Ehrig goes in motion. The give to Barnhart. He fumbles. And Middleville's on top of it, and they've got the ball back with 7:09 remaining in the game. There may be a prayer left for the Middleville Trojans, as this fumble will leave them in the game, and the Vikings missing out on a golden opportunity to put this one away. And the Trojans find a spark of life. Here's another look at that fumble. It looked like the exchange between Barnhart and Shively wasn't clean, and it was fumbled right there.
So the defense is back on the field for Haslett here.
Split right, full formation backfield for Finkbeiner. And they're going to go back with Glavin.
Trotter making the tackle on Glavin.
Moves it forward for some good yardage.
11-yard line.
Down to about 11. Hurry up offense for Middleville with a 2nd down and 5 yards to go. And Finkbeiner taking some time. So you might want to hurry up and call this play if they're really going to hustle this much. And the ball was well underthrown and it bounced off the ground.
Not even close to a catch there. And
good call by the official. I don't know if I agree with doing the no huddle right there. I mean, you still got 7 minutes on the clock. You do have to hustle up, but you still have to get the communication of the play call in there, and it looked like there were still some people confused. Here's a look at that play again. Watch as the ball hits the ground before it goes into the receiver's hands. 3rd down and 5. Twins to the left. Finkbeiner's going to give it to Glavin. Glavin hit hard. Falls forward close to the 1st down, but no cigar.
This is very, very close to the 1st down, but if it's not,
I don't think he's going to get this one.
And Middleville's going to have to go for it if he doesn't get it.
Well, they're going to call official timeout for measurement here.
Chains crew's got to come from the other side of the field here.
As the ball was moved out just beyond the 15-yard line. See if it's enough. There's a close-up of the ball. And the official is going to pull the chain. They're short. By about a football, actually. And there is no doubt that in this situation, the Trojans will go for it. Whether it's a QB sneak or just another give to Glavin.
I got to think they're going to go to Glavin.
They've got their backs to the wall now, and they've got to go for it. The Haslett crowd starting to pick up here. Trying to help this defense on to yet another big stop. Get things set up. And they draw Haslett off sides unless the Middleville player moves. And I think one of the offensive linemen from Middleville moved. Dead ball, false start offense. And that sums up the game for the Middleville Trojans, Jeff. Mental errors all over the place. We've had fumbles, we've had penalties, we've had all kinds of problems, and every time they've gotten an opportunity to do something big, to get themselves back in the game, they just shoot themselves in the foot, and that hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And they
have dug themselves
a tough penalty to take right there.
You move from 4th down and a foot to 4th down and 5 yards and a foot. Well, here's the game. And the Vikings wrap up Glavin behind the line of scrimmage at the 5-yard line.
Jimmy Mulholland on a play right there. And once again, like I said before, he's a solid player, but he makes big plays when big plays need to be made.
We've got an injured Trojan down on the field.
Jimmy comes up with a huge play right there to stop him on 4th down and give Haslett the ball back right on the 10-yard line of Middleville. And if Haslett can put in the end zone here, Evan, it's going to be very, very hard for Middleville to even get back in the game.
Say 10 to this player. We're going to get another look at this play. Just no chance as Trotter was in the backfield as they called the blitz. And Haslett was able to take over on downs. Still got a man down, and we went through this last week, and hopefully it's not that serious. It appears to be number 54, Jeremy Hewick. Can't even tell what he's injured out there.
Hopefully nothing serious, and hopefully he'll be able to get up and walk off under his own power here.
Look at that Viking huddle as they're getting ready to try to put this one in the bag and think about next week. The Vikings have played good tonight, but not flawless. They've definitely had their penalty problems, and the defense allowed Middleville to move the ball a lot and stop them on those turnovers.
They've done what they needed to, though, to get a victory possibly here, and they've got themselves a comfortable lead. And
looks like number 54 is on his feet, being helped off the field.
It's good to see, and
good to see him moving off.
Looks like possibly a knee or an ankle as he's limping a little bit there.
Yeah, it's good to see a player walk off instead of be carted off like last week. Well, getting set now for play. 6:03. First down and goal, Vikings from the 10-yard line. And we are ready for play here. Wing T set, Shibley. Settles in. Gives it to Eric. He's going to score or be very close. No, the official is going to say down at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
And I thought that he had carried the ball over the plane and scored there, but the official obviously didn't think the same thing.
Very close there, very close, as Peter made a great effort to try to get in the end zone, but this is just going to run the clock down just a little bit more.
Vikings with 5.5 minutes remaining. Make sure not to turn it over down low. And they give this to Eric, and he was not able to get in the end zone. It's going to bring up third down.
So Haslett here, letting the clock run down. We're going to probably get under 5 minutes, yeah, here. And
Haslett, hopefully for them, they can punch it in here and get Middleville finally squared away. They haven't gone away easily, but a lot of the Middleville problems tonight have been brought on by themselves. There's the give to Eric, and he does score this time, just getting the corner of the end zone. And the Vikings will go up 23-6, and they're going to go for one here.
Eric gets to carry 3 times there and puts it in the end zone on the third one.
Well, 3 times is a charm. As here's Eric, he's going to be met right at the goal line and squeezes in the corner there. Schultz gave her to hold, Dan Hoff to kick. Snap is good. Ball is down. Kick. Maybe the snap wasn't down, as Dan Hoff's kick did not make it. It was low, and don't know if it was the footing or what, but it's no good, and the Vikings lead 23-6. 4:43 remaining in the game.
Haslett's now got a commanding lead with the amount of time left, and Middleville's going to have to score quickly and very often now to get back into this game.
I don't see the Trojans mounting a comeback here, but anything is possible. Dan Hoff will kick it for the Vikings. Middleville with their regular return set. Ball fell off the tee there. Dan Hoff going to reset it.
Got number 9, Dan Keel back deep.
Here goes Dan Hoff with the kick. It's going to be a low squibbler, and they have trouble getting it. And Nate Lavoie finally comes up with it before he is buried by Nathan Cahill at his own 15-yard line.
Cahill with excellent coverage right there, and the Viking special teams, with exception of that first punt fumble with Mark Stocker, the Viking special teams have definitely got the best of Middleville tonight.
Here's another look at that play as It went off 2 players, and Lavoie finally getting the ball before Cahill came down and pummeled him. Vikings leaving their first defense on the field here. Don't want Middleville to have any chance of getting back into this one. Finkbeiner with Twins to the right is going to throw. Pass is complete, but only for about 3 yards on the right-hand side to number 5, Ken Van Ryn. That's his 3rd catch of the night.
Yeah, no huddle here as Jeremy Telfor runs off the field just a little bit late there.
Finkbeiner checking things out. Has still pretty much of the same defensive set as he's going to throw again. This time, it's not going to be completed.
Lucas Caldwell McMillan on the coverage there as he's getting a little out there in the corner one-on-one. He's playing great defense.
McMillan with a good play there. Great timing on the hit. And as a result, there was no interference called. Had he been any earlier, might have been cause for a call, but perfect timing there by Lucas Caldwell McMillan. Twins to the left. And they're going to run it. It's number 33, Glavin, and he's going to be stopped just shy of a Middleville first down. As you can see now, he's trying to stretch out. He's definitely got to be getting tired here tonight.
Jeff Smith had a chance there to bring him down in the backfield, but Glavin
seems really shaken up on the play.
Possibly cramps when it gets cold like this. It's a good chance that people are going to be cramping up.
Yeah, in either weather extreme, a lot of things can happen. And Haslett making more substitutions late as they get things set up. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the game. There's a pitch. It's going to be a halfback pass. Thrown deep. Van Ryn is open, and he will not get the ball. It was overthrown. Williams providing the coverage for the Vikings.
Alex Williams coming over from the safety spot to make a nice play and give Van Ryn no chance to catch the ball there. And Middleville going no huddle.
And the Vikings really having to hustle back to get to the defense. Clock is stopped with 3:25 remaining in the game. There's the throw, incomplete, intended for Van Ryn. Cahill on the coverage. Actually, no, that pass was intended for Brian Jenke.
Number 2 out there on the right. So 3rd and 10 here, and
Middleville really with no chance of winning this game here as they're down by too many points here. If they wouldn't have had those fumbles, they might be winning right now or very close to it.
You guys just take a picture at the end of the game and then you just come down.
Dropping back to pass is Finkbeiner under a lot of pressure. He will be brought down by 3 Vikings. Brandon Harden and Jimmy Mulholland were the 2 leading there on that tackle. And that's going to set him back for 4th down and the Silverdome.
And Jimmy Mulholland once again makes another big play in this game.
Here's another look at that play. Mulholland the first to arrive there, and then Harden.
And Jeff Smith also gets in on a tackle there.
About 2:45 remaining in the game. Twins to the right. And a pro formation in the backfield. This is the set we've seen most of the night. Finkbeiner's going to roll to his right under pressure. Throws back across to Jenke. McMillan not able to make the stop. Dutcher rambling towards him, unable to grab him, but finally brought out of bounds by number 22, Peter Ehrig.
And he picks up the first down there, so Middleville keeps life.
It's an interesting play call there, but it does the trick as Middleville does have a first down at their own 40-yard line.
The clock, however, is at 2:23 right now, and it's almost impossible for Middleville to make up this amount of points right now.
Finkbeiner He's going to drop back to throw. Mulholland pressuring him again. And he's going to keep it now and be brought down by number 30, Ben Murray. And we've got flags all over the place. You can only assume it's going to be a late hit or a face mask on the Vikes. And it's going to be a personal foul on the Vikings, a late hit.
Not smart right there, and just doesn't need to happen.
Haslett's really going to have to get rid of this problem if they want to continue to advance through these next few rounds of the playoffs. They just cannot afford to do this kind of thing, especially as you get farther in the playoffs, the teams you play are just going to get harder and harder. And the Vikings really just cannot afford these kind of penalties in upcoming games.
It's definitely going to hurt them later on in the later rounds. We got Logan there on his birthday, feeling pretty good.
43-yard line.
Finkbeiner. He's going to throw here. Van Ryn open on the far sideline. He'll be taken down.
Cahill with a nice hit there. And Nathan's not only a speedy corner.
And as we take a look at the far sideline, the Middleville fans starting to make their way home as a disappointing night. They played well, but the turnovers were too much for them to overcome, and the Viking running game just too devastating. And there's the throw out to the left-hand side, and it will be dropped by number 22, Tim Stevens. Yeah, it's down on the sideline. We had a little bit of action as Haslett coach Eric Buboltz was doused with the water. He was the coach of these seniors when they were freshmen, actually. And Buboltz sticking with them for every year but one. He's really made a great impact on this team. Minute 31 left, 3rd down and 5 for the Middleville Trojans. Split left, split right, pro formation. Finkbeiner. Pass is on the ground. Well, I'm going to go down on the field now and see if I can't give myself an interview with Coach O or one of the other coaches after the game.
So Haslett's going to come away with a victory here as with a minute 27 and a 23-6 margin to make up. Middleville's really got no chance, and Haslett's defense has put them in a 4th and 5 right now, and if Haslett can stop them, they'll just run out the clock. Finkbeiner drops back to pass, and he throws it. We got a hook and lateral. And number 22, Tim Stevens, on the hook and lateral right there, is going to score a touchdown for Middleville, and they're not going to give up, and that shows that they're a good team. And I believe Middleville will go for 2 here. I'm not sure, though. But as you see, the old hook and ladder right there. One receiver runs out and runs a button hook, and the other one just stays behind him, and when he catches it, he just pitches it over. Worked to perfection right there, and Middleville is going to go for 2 here. 23-12 now. Finkbeiner drops back, and he's looking over. Number 2's got it. That's Brian Jahenke. But he's not going to get it. And Haslett's going to have a 23-12 lead with a minute 18. And you got to expect an onside kick here by Middleville. Haslett covered it well last time. And here's a replay on a 2-point conversion. It's Brian Jahenke. Catches it, but just can't break free, and it's going to be brought down short. We got Coach Port there down on the sidelines. Got to be feeling pretty good with his defensive performance tonight. They played very well. And here's a look at Haslett's hands team, and lining up on the left side this time is Middleville's going to go to that way. As Mizo Glavin is going to kick off. He's got it set up now, and there's a good look at his setup for this onside kick. And it took a good bounce, and it looks like Middleville recovered. We'll see if it went out of bounds first or not. And the officials are saying that it's going to be Haslett football. And Haslett now will just run out the clock and come away with a victory, but Middleville's going to take a timeout here, and got to look at Jimmy Mulholland coming up with some big plays tonight. And on that onside kick, Middleville actually came up with it, but it was out of bounds before they came up with it, so the ball is going to stay with Haslett. And Hazlett's offense, Middleville has 2 timeouts remaining now, so you'd expect them to call after the play is dead. But Haslett will just try to pick up a first down, and if Haslett can successfully pick up a first down, this game is most likely over, barring a fumble or some freak accident. Middleville's put up a very, very strong fight tonight. It's just the turnovers killed them. Just 3 mistakes, and they were driving and driving and driving, and then they fumble, and Haslett would recover, and it's the story of the game to this point. Peter Eric's going to get the call, and he's broken. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's being chased by number 9, and he's going to catch him inside the 10-yard line. Looks like at about the 6-yard line. Peter Eric breaks one, and that will definitely put the nail in the coffin right there, as Middleville is giving up a big play to Peter Eric there. Number 9, Dan Keel, chased him down, but not before Peter could pick up about 50 yards. And here's the replay on it. Eric just cuts it back, and it's just a wide open hole. And Dan Neal shows the speed just to bring him down and not let him score a touchdown, but the clock is running now. Middleville's not going to call a timeout. Shively under center here. He's going to take his time. Shively's just going to take a knee. Middleville's just going to let the clock go, it looks like, and looks like they've thrown in the white flag here, and Hazlett's going to win the game. (23-12) is your final. Here's the final seconds tick off the clock in the field. The teams are already on the field ready to shake hands, and got to be a lot of respect going both ways from these teams, and both teams played excellent tonight. Middleville just had a few more mistakes than Haslett. And we got Middleville's coach, Tim Penfield, it looks like. Looks like he's looking for Coach O. Shaking hands with the players there. So Middleville's season is going to end tonight with an 8-2 record. And Hazlett's going to go to 10-0 and move to the regional final, which I believe is here next week. And we got the fight song that's going to be sung once all the players get over here. All the players rushing over, and we got the fight song coming up. We'll just let you take a listen. You know, the fans going crazy, and we got to look at Middleville's team there is obviously dejected as their season's ended tonight with a very, very good record of 8-2. And after losing the first game to Caledonia, they came back and had a great season, made it to the playoffs, but came up against a tougher Haslett team tonight and with a few more turnovers. Both teams meeting right now in Middleville. He's got nothing to be ashamed of at this point. They played excellent tonight, and Miso Glavin had a very, very good game for them. He carried the offense in the first half and made a key fumble as they were driving in to start the second half. We got to look at Coach O there, talking to his team. Yep. We got Coach O down there and Logan talking right now, it looks like, and team's got to be feeling ecstatic at this point, and they moved to 10-0 and going to the regional finals now next weekend against the winner of a Sturgis-Romulus game, which is at Romulus tomorrow. Both teams are 9-0, so it's going to be a very, very good opponent that Haslett comes up against next. Evans down on the field trying to get a word with one of the coaches here. Coaching staff that has done a great job tonight. Great job throughout the whole season, and great job tonight to make adjustments that they needed to do to win the game. And we got Evan with Coach O right now, and Coach O's talking to Mr. Jenner, looks like. And Evan's gonna get a word with Coach O, it looks like right now, and he's coming over to the camera there. And we're going to go down to Evan right now, and he's got Coach Otluski with him.
All right, we're down here on the field with Coach Otluski. First of all, Coach, congratulations on a big playoff win here tonight.
Thanks.
Now, as we look at it, Middleville came out with a pretty good running game, and you guys were able to start shutting them down late in the first half. But how big of a role did turnovers play in tonight's game? They had a lot. They had 3 inside the red zone. How big of a role did those play?
To answer your first question, they got a hell of a running game. I mean, they got a 33, Misko Glavin, if I pronounce it right. He's a tough back. And I tell you, they come off the ball, and we had some problems. But turnovers in any game, especially in the playoffs, play a very pivotal role. And we were able to capitalize on the ones that they made and turn them into points.
Now, in terms of offensively speaking, Barnhart had a great night tonight, and we're going to be expecting a lot out of him in the next few weeks, I'd assume. What are you going to be doing to get the troops ready for this next week? The practices are going to be real cold. Are you guys going to do anything special?
Nothing special, but we as coaches need to coach better, and we need to eliminate mistakes. Otherwise, next week will be our last game because we can't make mistakes the way we did tonight and expect to continue.
Now, next week's game, you guys will be hosting that, correct?
Right.
So after finishing first in the region, and you play the winner of which 2 teams?
Romulus and Sturgis, and right now I don't know what night I want to play.
All right. Well, Coach, congratulations on a big playoff win here tonight. First playoff appearance since 1986, and wish you the best of luck in the upcoming game and hopefully games.
All right, thanks.
So thank you, Coach. So for TV 25 Sports, for Brian Town and the whole crew here tonight, and for Jeff Mulder up in the booth, I'm Evan Woodward. Good night.
Thank you.